Hi, I am Shae Catanella. I am a singer and actor for my job, and I am asked to sing and connect with people on a daily basis. I live in New Jersey and I am 29. I am a single female and I'm also a single mom. I have been single now for about a year, and my last relationship was a bit complicated, to say the least.
Do you, as a single person now, search for love?
Being single now, I do not search for love. I'm honestly not really interested in dating at this time. I'm a full-time mom and musician, so that takes up a lot of my time and a lot of my mental and emotional focus.
If love were to walk into your life, would you be accepting of it or gonna put it off?
I'd probably put it off. It just, in this time, I feel that if real love was to find me, then it would also be accepting in being patient because of where my goals are at this time. I'm trying to focus more on my career and helping my child grow to be as amazing as she can.
What do you value love to be?
I believe that love is unconditional. I think love has so much growth and understanding. I believe that I value love to be something that everybody needs, and whether it becomes platonic, romantic, or any type of love, you will always have some type of opportunity to cherish and accept and have it in your life.
Where does human connection start for you? How does a new connection start?
I think most human connection starts with just being friends and getting to know somebody and seeing what you have interested, having similar interests, and being able to say that I accept you for who you are right now and not the potential that you have.
In your past, what has been the craziest way you've started a connection and the most unexpected way?
In like a relationship. So in a relationship, I'd probably say the craziest thing that I did was become friends and then immediately intimate with my child's father. And I had a baby 6 months or so, maybe 7 months after dating. And then we went through a lot of hard times. We were both very young. So I was 23. I had just turned 23 when I first had my child. And I met her father when he was 21. And we dated for 6 months, and then like 6, 7 months. And then I got pregnant my senior year of college. So I immediately decided I wanted to have her. And unfortunately, the relationship was mentally and physically abusive. So I soon, after about a year or two, decided that I deserved better and I didn't want to live a life where I felt less than or unworthy of real love and connection. And I also did not want my daughter to grow up thinking that that is what real relationship, romantic love was supposed to be. So I took a leap of faith and I left that relationship and I focused more on my career, on my music and songwriting and cover bands, and that was probably the biggest and best move that I ever made for myself and for my daughter.
think your past relationship, that one included, and your other past relationships dictate how you interact with people today?
Yeah, I think that how I perceived and accepted romantic love in my past made me change and a bit alter my idea of what love was. Um, I know that I have very keen sense of awareness of what my triggers are and what my wounds are in a romantic relationship, and I actively choose to try and heal them. But I also know that I will have those throughout life. So, for instance, I think one of the things I tend to do often is push people away, and I kind of harden my heart a little bit because I think it's better for somebody to prove that they want to be in my life, because I've accepted a lot of the bare minimum and I deserved more. And instead of accepting that in somebody putting in a little bit of effort, I've decided to just not try.
Now, knowing that, do you ever self-reflect on that and try and change that, or have you accepted that?
I think I've accepted it at this point because my goals are different. When I was younger, I think my aspirations and goals more focused on being a mom and having kids. And I still have that goal, but that is not my short-term goal. I'm focused more on my short-term goal rather than my long-term goal, which I believe will come eventually, but I'm not worried about it. I'm more so concerned about healing myself to a point where I feel safe enough to allow another person in my life.
What is your ideal relationship when you're ready? What would that look like?
I don't know if I really have an image of an ideal relationship because I'm not looking for one. But I know that if it was to arise, it would just emotionally feel fulfilling. Overall, it would have to just be emotionally and mentally and physically fulfilling.
Your last relationship happened before COVID, right?
My last relationship was after COVID, but I left, the big monumental relationship that changed me was my child's father. And for obvious reasons, it made me a very insecure and hurt, wounded person. And I don't believe that people will always be in that trauma. It's an active choice to have to grow past those type of relationships. It's a choice that I'm single and that I'm a single mom. It's a choice that I'm focusing on my job and my career. You can choose to look for somebody, and you would probably find someone if you wanted to be in a relationship. But it's an active choice. So before COVID was the monumental relationship for me that really affected things for my idea of relationship, but I have dated after COVID as well.
Do you think when you started the relationship after COVID, were there any major differences you saw in how the first initial interaction went in a post-COVID world compared to your relations before COVID? Like meeting, ice-breaking, kind of getting comfortable. Do you think those were different?
I think that relationship romantically, not so much. Friendship, platonic relationships did, and that was also because I was a new mom. I had just had a baby. She was born in 2018. So my entire life was kind of flipped upside down, being a young mom with an infant. Now during COVID, you didn't get to go out much. My partner and I at that time did not live with each other, and we were not married. So COVID really affected, like, mentally how I connected with other people, even on a platonic level.
How do you navigate being a single mother and dealing with potential new men?
Yeah, that's probably so. Being a single mom and having a beautiful daughter who will be 7 this year, and then entertaining another man being in her life seems to be a bit scary for me, because her her idea of love is so pure at this young age, and for how I want her to perceive what love is romantically, it needs to be healthy. And she needs to understand that, no, this isn't your dad, but this person is going to love you like they would if you were their child. So it can be very scary, but at the same time, I know that there is someone out there who would do that. And I am open to it, but I am cautious because of those reasons.
Now, when choosing a selectable partner, do you look for men that are single fathers or non-single fathers, like they've never had a child before? When you think about someone that's never had a child before, do you think, or do you get worried about them investing as much as they would in you if they were also a single parent?
So that's such an interesting question, because I don't entertain either. I don't entertain single fathers. I really don't entertain single men who don't have kids. I really have no preference either, whether they have kids or they don't have kids. Is indifferent for me. If they do have kids, it's amazing because there's more love. But I'm not actively seeking somebody just because they have kids or just because they don't have kids. I think it's about the connection that you have with somebody, whether there's other people involved or not.
How comfortable are you with meeting someone new in person versus online today? Like,
Oof. That's a great question. I would way rather prefer to meet somebody in person than online. I do not do the dating apps, and that's not to say that it's a bad thing. I have done dating apps before. It just wasn't something that worked for me, and I would prefer to date somebody or meet somebody in person. That way I kind of know exactly what they look like. I can see their body language. I can go based off their kind of mannerisms rather than somebody who's got, a checklist of things.
did the lockdown make you more cautious about who you devote your time and energy to?
I think in general, anything that I've experienced in my life has made me more cautious about what I devote my time to. I mean, lockdown, yeah, definitely. Actually, so to be a bit more vulnerable and give a bit more detail about what my time through COVID was that I was leaving my abusive relationship. My sister had just passed away of pancreatic cancer, and I felt very isolated and I felt very alone. My child's father had moved to a completely different state, so I didn't have any other parental help. I was grieving, and I was also helping my family grieve because my parents had now lost a second child. For the first time, they had lost their son, so my late brother passed away when he was younger. So I had already had this type of strength and devotion to just getting healthier and being better, and trying to uprise from that trauma. And now coming in past COVID, I just devote my time to being a mom and my career.
I'm sorry to hear about your loss, both your brother and your sister.
Yeah, thank you.
You don't have to answer this, but do you think that loss and also your baby father moving away, do you think that has had a traumatic effect on, or a fear built on the longevity of other people staying in your life, whether by choice or by natural causes?
I do think that puts a different trajectory on how I perceive life. I am the type of person who wears my heart on my sleeve. I'm very kind and I'm very generous, and I do go out of my way for people, and sometimes for people who don't always show me the same. But I also believe that the love that I give another person is what they needed in that time. And I never feel that what I gave was something I wish I didn't. I always feel like, well, I learned, and if they end up leaving or if I end up having something happen to me, everything I did before that made a difference. It mattered. And so it really does affect how I look at other people, at relationships and friendships, because you only have today and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So you just kind of hope that you gave everything you did while you could.
Through all your past experiences, have they changed your standards or expectations in a partner?
I do, because I don't feel that I ask for anything that I wouldn't be able to give. So I do feel like my perception of a partner has changed because of these past memories or incidences. I think that's why when I look for a partner, or when I'm ready to look for a partner, even if somebody was to come unexpectedly, I know what my red flags are. I know what my boundaries are. And I know that whatever I'm asking for, I am also willing to give.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Not a lot of people feel that way. How has the importance of physical closeness versus emotional connection changed for you in a time where we were told to stay 6 feet apart?
Oh, I'm like I'm such a touchy person. Like, I will kiss my friends on the cheek anytime I see them. Like, I am a hugger, I am a kisser, I am very physical touch. And it's funny because I have friends that do not like that at all. And they respectfully, and I respectfully say, I respect your space. That's totally okay. That's your personal bubble, and you're valid. So the social distancing killed me inside a little bit, but everybody's got their own vibe. Everybody's got their own thing going on, that they don't want to be touched, or they feel like, oh, you're a little too close. Sometimes get a little irritable. So it was hard.
And now we've touched on how you focus more on yourself and your self-desires and your dreams and chasing them.
Yeah.
Do you, as somebody who has kind of shut off love for the time being, when you sit in a great moment, a monumental moment, one that you've worked hard for, an achievement, and you kind of stand around, do you ever feel lonely that you don't get to cherish that and share that with someone?
But I do. Like, I might not get to have a romantic partner that kisses me or holds my hand or puts a ring on my finger, but I share that with my family. I share that with my friends. I share that with my daughter. And right now, I think it's so important for me to have gratitude in what I have rather than what I'm lacking. I know that that will come. I have so much faith that my person will be there standing next to me, beside me, and cherish me and be able to celebrate all of my wins with me with absolute no disregard or jealousy or resentment. I know that will come, and so I'm being grateful in this time for the people I can share that with, even if it's not romantically.
How has your definition of vulnerability evolved as you've gone through traumatic events? And do you allow others to truly see as you were, like as you are now? Or have you put up a shield?
I think I put up walls. I'm like an onion. You see, I have layers that I pick and I unfold in due time with people who I feel I can be vulnerable with. I've always been a very empathetic person, and I always try my best to show people that I can care and I can show kindness and love and vulnerability to an extent. The past things that have happened to me definitely help me to be a little bit more guarded. And I don't always think that's a bad thing. I think throughout life, you're going to find a lot of people who see your colors and they say, wow, that person's really sweet. Like, I want to get to know that person. And then you're going to want to share more with them because they're going to share more with you. And then those layers are going to continue to unfold, and it's going to be with the right person because you didn't just throw yourself out there immediately. And when you realize that they weren't ready, that you should have been a little bit more reserved. I think it's important to reserve ourselves sometimes because not everybody has your best interest at heart. And you have to wait for people to kind of unfold so that you can unfold as well. And then when you do it together, that's like bliss. That's even better.
In your past, do you think you have had a type of partner? And in the partners you've chosen, do they have more similar traits to you, or are you more different than they are?
I don't know if they're more different than me or more similar to me, but I do know that in my past, I've had a really great type of non-communicators. People who decide that they don't want to tell me verbally what is going on in their head, but I should just know. And I don't think that's easy. And I can't read minds. So I've decided to go with people who are more similar to me. And now those are the people that I decide to communicate with.
Do you think the pandemic has shifted your ability to express gratitude, patience, or empathy in relationships?
No, I don't. And I only say that because I've always kind of been more of a communicator, a little bit more of an over communicator sometimes. And I don't think that the pandemic really transitioned me to less communicate or more communicate. I think that I've always just kind of communicated at my own regular pace.
Do you think that men and women today, besides yourself, are still chasing the atomic family?
Can you say that one more time?
Do you think men and women today are still chasing the atomic family? Like, a house, kids, staying together?
Sadly, I don't. I definitely want that. I think having a home and family and kids is magical, and I find it to be desirable and fulfilling. But unfortunately, I think in this generation, more people are accustomed to seeing divorce rates skyrocket, both parents out of the house, kids being watched by babysitters, or also like not liking their spouses, but staying married because financially it's easier. And I think that's really sad.
When you deal with a lot of people out and singing, what do you see most people choosing to chase? Do you see a lot of people choosing to chase love and connection? Do you see a lot of people talking about it? Do you see more people talking about chasing their dreams, like their own aspirations, like you are?
Mm-hmm.
Or, what is it that you see out in the world?
I think I see a lot of relationships, a lot of boyfriend and girlfriends, not super commitment, like people are just engaged for really long, or we've been dating for 7 years, but we're not ready to get married. So I think I see like a lack of courage and being courageous in commitment. But I do think we're in a generation that people want love. They just don't know what's healthy, and there isn't enough out there showing healthy love. And so people talk about it and they want it, but then there's no connection between verbal and physical. So they say they want this, but their actions aren't proving they want that. You say you want a girlfriend or a boyfriend that you want to spend a Saturday night on watching movies and eating popcorn, but then you're out at the bar drinking till 3 a.m., buying multiple girls' drinks, or buying letting multiple guys buy you drinks. So it's like, if you want this, you need to do this. And I think there's just a lack of correlation between actions and words. And I mean, it happens because when you look at TV or you see some of the relationships out there, you don't have any guidance. So you're kind of like, well, I don't see it. I don't know what to do. But like, also, I always love this. You're not responsible for your trauma, but you are responsible for your healing. So it's like, if this is what's happening to you because of what you've gone through, then you need to pick something that will help you heal so you can be that you want.
Do you find more women or more men are looking for love?
I don't know either. I think it's mutual, honestly. I don't think men or women to say that they're not or that they are, because I've met really awesome guys who are ready to settle in and settle down. Even prior to my last dating relationship situation, I had gone on other dates, and they were great guys and they were ready to settle in, but I wasn't ready to fully commit because I wasn't looking for a partner. I was looking for a friend to build, to grow with, to figure out if we liked the same stuff. And I had already chosen to focus on picking people who are right for me, who could communicate the way I needed them to, who met my bare minimums, who liked the same things that I liked. So I had began to find these checklists that were realistic, not just like, well, if he doesn't have a full-time job and a house and a car, and like, realistic things that fit my standards, because nobody's perfect. Like you're not, none of us are perfect. You like somebody even when they give you that ick, right? Like that thing that kind of icks you. You're like, ew, that's cringe. But like, you still like them because overall they're a good person. So I began to find these checklist things within dating these guys, and they were ready to settle down, but I wasn't, because they didn't fully meet what I was looking for, and that's okay. And I see women just the same. I talk to some of my girlfriends, like they want to settle down, they want to find somebody, and they've got their career, they're living in their apartment, and it's great. So I think it's very 50-50, honestly.
What are 3 green flags to you, and what are 3 red flags to you?
Okay, green flag, you communicate with your family and you love your family. And you guys bicker and you kind of butt heads, but like, that's your family. And you overall both love each other. Another green flag would be you have some type of goal or aspiration for your future, whether it's career, whether it's going for a hike, or you want to visit a different state. So some type of aspiration or goal. And then another third green flag is somebody who's active, somebody who gets outside, isn't afraid of the sun, likes to exercise, and is good at planning that. So somebody who's active and plans, somebody who is close with their family, and somebody who has goals and aspirations for their future. And then I would say 3 red flags are somebody who still fights with their ex. If you're still talking to your ex, did they know that you're not in a relationship with them? Because if you guys are still communicating and you're friends and your exes, that's weird. Just in my opinion. Another red flag would be you don't cook. You don't cook for yourself. You wouldn't know how to cook for me. That's very strange. At this point in our lives, I mean, pasta, rice. There are really basic meals that you can make for yourself. And third red flag would be I don't think this is really a red flag, but this is just a preference. I can't really think of another red flag right now. Oh, well, okay. 2, somebody without compassion. Like, you don't care about people. Like, empathy is super important. Care about people. And then this is just the preference that I have, to dress well. I just want you to be able to dress well. That's all.
What are some key components do you think people need to keep a long-lasting, steady, and sturdy relationship with their partner?
Can I say 2?
You can say whatever you want.
Okay, I think 2 huge things are acceptance. You are not going to be the same person. They are not going to be the same person. And if you don't accept who they are and they don't accept who you are throughout every day of growth or change, you're going to beat yourself up constantly, because they are never going to meet your standard if you don't accept who they are. Life changes. You are not supposed to stay the same. So they're not to either. So acceptance, huge. And then I would say also actively trying to be in your relationship. So many people, I think I've seen in relationships, who end relationships tend to stop caring. They think that the honeymoon stage is only for like the 6 months that you were talking or dating. But I think it's actively trying. The honeymoon stage can last for the entirety of the relationship. It's, do you want to be there? Do you love your partner? Like, you're gonna feel some type of push and pull here and there with them. That's normal because you're two different people. But are you actively caring about them? Are you actively wanting to be in the relationship? And I would say those are the two like huge major things that are important for a relationship to work.
And we talked a little bit before the cameras were rolling.
Yeah.
And we spoke about the way the society is heading. And you said that you have to want to learn and understand new things in order to grow, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel as if there needs to be a catalyst, or do you feel it's something that each person individually needs to start contributing and doing their part to make it? I mean, domestic violence was at an all-time high in the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah.
But back then, we were a very innovative world. We reached the moon. We created computers. We automated automobile manufacturing, right? We were leaders of innovation. And now we don't do any of that. And not only that, we don't even further community and connection. So we have kind of regressed as a society in every manner, right? What do you think will change and kind of bring us back to, I don't necessarily want to be shoved in a room with 30 other people that are all chain smoking and heavy alcoholics, but we were forced to work with each other and put aside our differences in that room, although it was hazy.
Right.
What do you think will bring us back to putting aside our differences and working with one another to achieve the common goal of cohabitating on this rock that we call Earth?
So that's like a very in-depth and detailed question, I feel, because each individual on this planet is so unique. In my opinion, I would say, and to be completely frank, I think there does need to be a catalyst. I feel that there needs to be something that really blows up for people to finally get the picture. And I think we also spoke on this a little bit earlier. We come from such a desensitized generation. There are no surprises to things anymore. The amount of violence and sad and nitty-gritty, even love stuff that you can see anywhere on TV or even outside is like major. I think that because of everybody being so desensitized to all of those emotions, it doesn't surprise anybody anymore. So if there was a catalyst in, say, the world to really make people believe and think and see that this is what's going on, that would bring people to come together and be able to say, this isn't right. Like, we don't help each other anymore. We don't help our families anymore. There's so many people who are homeless. There's so many people without jobs. There's so many people getting laid off. Why is that? Because we as a community can't help each other anymore. So I feel there does need to be some type of catalyst that changes people's perception of reality.
And now my last question. Do you think social media and so many different platforms that are on the internet today, do you think that instant gratification and being able to go out and either see or do what you want at the cost of just currency. Do you think that has hindered and hurt the society as a whole because you don't have to put in work or have patience to grow something anymore? If somebody can't give you it instantly, you can just walk away to somebody that can.
Yeah, it's like that picture. So it's so funny that the way that you describe that, with social media giving instant gratification, it really visually plants this picture in my head of, well, your grass is dying. Did you water it? Are you watering your grass? Because your grass isn't going to grow if you don't water it. And it could be really great, and it could give you even better if you watered it. And it goes back to this story of, say you're one guy, your boyfriend gave you $5, right? He literally only had $5, but that wasn't enough for you. So you left him and you found someone else, and he gave you $10, but he also has like $100. So he gave you 10, but he has 100. And the guy that you liked, who had your best interest at heart, who only had $5, gave you $5. So it's like, again, that visual. Your grass is brown. Did you water it? You know, like flowers and grass, it'll grow. That relationship will grow where you water it. And having social media can be instant gratification. And if you don't discern at this age, or at any age really, if you don't have discernment to say, this might be great, but am I only happy because it's happening right now? Am I going to be happy later? You need to be able to discern whether I'll be happy later, even if I leave something that was really good for me right now. Yeah.
And that was it for the questions. Is there any bit of life advice or anything else you'd like to say to the people?
Just always give yourself a little bit of grace. Forgive yourself for any harm that you caused other people, any harm that you've ever caused yourself, because forgiveness and accountability will allow you to heal and share more love with the world.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.